Today we begin a new book in the Old Testament, the book of Ezekiel. Now, Ezekiel, he prophesied about the same time that Jeremiah did. Ezekiel was over with the deportees over in Iraq, well, back then Babylon, near the Euphrates River. And he was prophesying the same kinds of warnings to the exiles as Jeremiah was to the inhabitants of Jerusalem. The book of Ezekiel is, well, in certain places you might even call it kind of bizarre. It's got some very interesting stories, some very interesting accounts. And we begin with a supernatural vision that Ezekiel has in chapter 1, which some have even gone so far as to call UFO chapter. Read it and get my take on it. It's not that at all. Ezekiel 2, 3, and 4, I mean, it's really interesting reading. Ezekiel goes mute. I mean, he can't talk for actually a long time while he was prophesying. And it's really interesting to see why that happened. And the book of Ezekiel is full of, as I mentioned, things that are sometimes difficult to explain. In chapter 4, he acts out the siege on Jerusalem, and that's kind of interesting the way he does that as well, right there in his front yard. I think you'll get a lot out of the book of Ezekiel, and you'll find it interesting reading all the way through. And we'll see you tomorrow.